Hello and welcome to the Brother Slim. This is Cam and welcome to part 2 of Flight from Boeotia. The 12 Sins of Herackles Aeon Trespass Learn to Play. In real time, it has been a little bit since I've gotten to dive into this, so we'll see how this goes. Let's jump in. Chapter 3, Shoulders of Giants. I do like how it says the approximate amount of time it'll take for each one. You are eager to show off your skills to Ialos. I think I've mispronounced that every time. And prove your usefulness. Too late do you realize it only means more chores. Where at first you were only responsible for setting up camp, now you forage, hunt, scout, and stand guard all night, while the old man sleeps. I think we were played, one of you murmurs grimly, shouldering Ialos's pack, taking care not to trip over the tangled roots. It's a hard trek in the Ochiminian's half-light, even without the added load. There are queer noises in the undergrowth, and in the thick coat of leaves blanketing the forest floor. You catch glimpses of creatures whisking off the path and scuttling behind tree trunks. Black squirrels, Iolo says absent-mindedly, as if deciphering your skittish looks. Nothing to be alarmed about. And if it was something, one of you asks, remembering that blood-curdling howl, wolves, white clads, a monster, whatever it be, what then? What then? Yes, we're unarmed, and you're you scramble for the words, seasoned. If they come for us, as you tell us they will, what are we to do? Without turning his head, he mutters under his breath, Are you asking me whether you should give in to that dark voice? Let its fury spill into the world? The words hang uncomfortably in the cool air. No, you are nowhere near ready. The rage could consume you. But how can we? Most quarrels can be resolved by means other than violence. That is a tool you reach for only when all else fails. There was no discussion after that. Then this symbol, if I remember correctly, means we need to shift the leadership token. So we'll bump that over to our last person here. Again, in last session, I couldn't find the stuff about leveling up with different traits and abilities and stuff for characters. I don't know if that's on me or if it's just not in the digital learn to play. I'm not entirely sure. I think it might not be because it's something for the main game and probably isn't needed here. But if anyone knows otherwise, please let me know. Okay, I'm going to take some time and read through these rules parts here, so pause the screen if you want to read along, and I shall cut me reading out. Okay, a quick little summary of what's happened. We have shifted forward onto the sanctuary because it's the only place that we can go right now. There's an option on the map to go down to the south here where there's another Gaia seed, but it is a locked direction that we cannot take at this time. So basically we are forced to the north here. We drew another wilderness card, the Old Forest. In the absence of civilization, wilderness thrives. So we don't need to worry about this because we have nothing on the map to move. Least likely Heraclides gleans a danger. I did it just randomly. And then gain a Oikos thingamajig. I didn't actually do that yet, so let's go ahead and do that. There we go. And what is that symbol? I cannot recall, actually. And another threat. I think that's a Oikos thingamajig, so we should have went 3, but that would have dropped us back down because of the Sanctuary. Sanctuary, which is that symbol there, basically means we can spend a Oikos Fate to reduce Oikos Rage by 1. So it's made to mitigate how angry our Familia is getting, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so onwards, I am going to read through this and pause again, and I'll cut this out in the actual recording. All right, we're back. This is part of, so we did this action just now, but here you can see the basic Oikos actions, depending on a couple of things. Also how to use the supply tokens, and then also some of the tech tree, which is fun, so cool things to see there. I'm really liking these cards. In the full game, if I recall, I'm pretty sure this is going to be one single large card, but as far as the learn to play and just pulling them up as they're needed and having references, actual Aeon Trespass references, it is sweet, so me likey a lot. All right, but we are going to move forward to this next location, boom, 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 which is a workshop. And as we just saw here, it means that we can craft gear. So I'm curious if we'll actually get to do that. But first things first, we do another wilderness card draw. Getting megalithic ruins. Not much remains of those who were here before. Resolve 1 or 2 if... 1 or 2. That I don't understand. Very, very curious. We are at 5 though because of this, I do believe. Let me just double check the rules over here. Oops, I shouldn't have done that before actually, but we're up to 5 now. Huzzah! Okay, let's see. So this is what I want to check. Check the adversary symbol box. It reads resolve 1 or 2 if between these. Lo and behold, your... I can't remember what this symbol is. Does it say here? Threat. Threat is 5. That means you resolve 2 adversary symbols. Okay, so that's why. Basically what it's saying is you resolve 1 regardless, which wouldn't have any effect for us because we don't have any other active adversary symbols, but because we have 5 between 5 and 9, we resolve 2, which means we are going to summon the adversary onto the board. Later in the game, you'll encounter even more powerful adversary symbols, which could spawn the adversary outright, like that one, I assume. Place it on any node 3 nodes away from the Oikos. The white Gaia Seed node back to the west. Alrighty, Rue. Let's grab this angry puppy. Oh, that's the wrong one. It's a Gigaton. Right there, and we have a little chase going on between our fam jam and a angry 2-headed puppy. Iados's worst fears have come to pass. Something much deadlier and immensely more powerful has picked up the Herackles scent. Time is running out. Proceed below to the It Follows adventure. So, alrighty, let's read this. The howl tears through the night sky, taking you back to that first night at the temple. It is both alike and unlike that of a wolf. It's closer than the last time you heard it. What could it be? Aeolos feeds the bonfire another branch, lingering before answering, a beast of hunger. You said that like you know of it. I do, I have seen it. It and the carnage it caused. The fire cracks and pops. You don't think... It has tasted Heraklede flesh before. His words leave no space for doubt. It is coming for you. The bravest of you smiles cockily, as if to spit in the face of this grim revelation. One thing I heard, I can't remember when, I think maybe in creative writing school or from a professional writer, I'm not too sure. But the words as if to, like as if to do something. I don't know if this is like too blunt to say, but it doesn't, in my opinion, and from ever since hearing this thing wherever I heard it from, isn't the best writing because you don't need to say as if, because the whole action of spitting in the face of this grim revelation is exactly what that cocky smile is, not as if too. So nitpicky, but ever since I heard someone say that, it's like, you don't need to say as if. Or if you do it very sparingly. And we've seen it here and then also in the other story up here too. So yeah, just the tiniest nitpick of writing, in my opinion, for what is otherwise really, really good. Then it seems we'll have to awaken the Titan power in us after all. Aeolos turns to them, a strange shine in his eyes. Child, this thing eats Titans. Our only hope is to reach the shore before it catches up to us. He pauses, considers your predicament. Then, but we may not make it. Pack your things. We need to move, now. The pace Aeolos dictates is so frantic that it leaves you no time to think. Hours pass before you realize you've changed direction. Instead of continuing east towards the shore, you veered off south, back into the old forest. What gives, old man? Nerves start to get to you, and the questions come out harsher than you intend. You're trying to get us killed? On the contrary. You notice the forest around you is thinned somewhat, and is now dotted with giant moss-covered boulders. You remember Aeolus calling them glacial erratics, whatever that meant. Here, the old man points to a crevice in one of the stones and hands you a torch. You begin to protest, declaring you won't hide from danger, but he insists, and when Aeolus insists, he brooks no opposition. What at first glance appeared a mere slit opens into a spacious cavern. Its floor is unnaturally even, as if flattened. Once again, as if. Is that needn't? Like just flattened would be fine. And the rock walls have been cut deep and with precision, creating alcoves and places to sit with stone benches to place things on, and a hearth to kindle fire in. Strewn about are heavy stone tablets meticulously chiseled out to serve as molds for metal tools, swords, spear tips. This room was a kiln once, an aeon ago. Yet something is not quite right, to the point you think your eyes are playing tricks on you in the darkness. And then, as you approach one of the benches, you realize what's been bugging you. The scale. It's all wrong. What in the... One of you exclaims, giving voice to your collective bewilderment. That was a kiln for giants. An inscription above the hearth reads... Interesting kind of hand-looking symbols. So you've not heard of the bronze people? Aeolus fills the silence with his measured cadence. Sorry, I was just checking something quick there. Sorry, I just want to check one more thing. We got that going. What about application audio? Do we have that too? Yes, we do. Don't mind me. I might just cut that little bit out. So you've not heard of the bronze people? Aeolus fills the silence with his measured cadence. Once upon a time, they lived all over Hellas. There's not many of them left. None in Boeotia. Then no wonder we haven't heard about them, one of you retorts. What were they like? Were they similar to Titans? Titans are not people. The harshness in Aeolus' voice surprises you. They are monsters, set upon the world to torment mortals. They are nothing alike. Now, he points to the other side of the cavern. Where a giant stone wheel has been set in the wall, perhaps to regulate water or airflow. I'll need a hand with this. If that monster catches up to us, and you, have to fight that thing, I will not send you out unarmed. But you, one of you stutters, you said we were not ready. You were not, Aeolus says with the utmost conviction. But you said, I know what I said, and I loathe to think of what you might become. But that there is a monster, and you have the right to live just as anyone else. Enough talk. This adventure is a bit different. There are no choices, tests, rewards, or penalties. Instead, take the following standard-sized craft cards: crude flint weapons, petrified wood weapons, and crude armor. Their backs are showing respectively First Grave, Ancient Felling, and Giant Shell Midden Workshop. They will form the basis of your project's deck. Then perform 3 discoveries. See below. Very cool. Very cool indeed. I'm assuming that these are up here. Yes, they are. So which ones are we taking again? Let me double check. Flint weapons, petrified wood weapons, crude armor. Okay, so these are the 3 that we have. We shall not look at those yet. Let's take a looky-loo here. Do definitely want to see the backs of them too. So, First Grave, Forgotten Workshop, Ancient Felling, Forgotten Workshop, and Giant Shell Midden, Forgotten Workshop. Huzzah. Alright, so Flint Catar, Flint Blade, Flint Sling, Petrified Tree Shield, Petrified Tree Limb, Petrified Spear Tree, Siren Buckler, Monstrous Leathers, Ice, and Shell Breastplate. I am waiting for the day we get like a proper full-size Siren Primordial. I want them so bad. Okay, cool. As you recover these ancient weapons made of sharpened flint, you ponder. Those toiled hands sharpen these? Then and what did they have to kill? Cool, cool. Petrified wood. A giant petrified forest at the bottom of a lake, and at its edge a similarly petrified felling. These broken shells are aeons old, and they can still take a punch. So Minos' Reach is the area that we're in. I know that. That's cool. Okay, sweet. So we got those. Onwards. All right, so I'm going to read this to myself, and go ahead and pause the video if you want to read that on your own too, and we'll see you momentarily. Same with this box over here as well. Okay, cool. So basically it's just saying, very much like ATO, we have two decks, the one that we are working towards discovering, and then the ones that we already know. So this side has a crafting cost because once we have resources, we'll be able to craft with them. And then these are the ones that we're working towards unlocking. So for example, here, we need crude armor and petrified weapons, and then we can unlock basic sea weapons, which sounds interesting. And then this will lead to Giganese weapons, Line Eater support equipment. And here, Crude Flint Petrified Weapons leads to Sarcophagus melee weapons, a Line Eater support equipment, and Giganeses weapons. So cool, cool. Ooh, a Shark Hood. Shark Spear. I kind of want those things. That sounds fun. All right, and onwards we go. All right, so same thing here. There's going to be a bunch of stuff that I'm going to read through myself, so feel like off camera. So pause if you want to read it, and otherwise I'll see you as we skip ahead. Okay, I did actually want to highlight this on camera because this is cool and I'm quite a fan of it. In ATO, the base currently out game, whenever you kill a primordial, you get resources based on the body parts that you've wounded. This is a little bit more kind of like Kingdom Death style, and I am kind of here for it. So instead of being based on whatever you manage to wound, which is fine, but can result in, I don't know, like it's fine, but I think I prefer this more. So rather than based on your wound pile, you shuffle the general universal deck, which corresponds to basic resources like bones, hide, and organs, and then you shuffle up the BP deck and draw 3 cards from the BP1, 2 from BP2, and 1 from BP3. And so I feel like that's just more balanced because I know in our fights in ATO so far, we would skew mostly to BP1s. And I feel like this is just an easier way for them to balance, like the ATU, ITU to balance their crafting. So I like this. This is, I think, a more elegant solution than the original. So yeah, that's cool. Very, very cool. All right, so what are we doing? We are adding these resources here, and then we get to craft for the first time, which is fun. All right, so that is 13 bones, 9 hide, and 3 organs, which is also very KDM. What's it again? 9 and 3. There we go, and these are just basic things. So let's look at the craft action, which is here. Craft gear at the workshop. Gain 1 Oikos Fate to craft. So that we shall do, going up to 2. And then we can craft whatever we want. So let's go ahead and just bring these over here. And take a look at these things first here too. So what do we want to make? Does it want to instruct us to make anything specific? Let's probably check that out first. At this point, you simply select the gear you want to craft, pay their cost and resources, and gain cards. Our proposed selection, one we prepared your resources for, is as follows. Okay, we'll just do this exact mix just so it's nice and easy. 1 monstrous leather, 1 siren buckle, 1 petrified cheese shield, 1 flint catar, 1 flint sling, and 1 petrified fruit tree club. Once you're done crafting, chapter 3 ends. All right, then onwards to the next one. Okay, let's do this thing. First, we do want to do it as legitimately as possible. So let's just go down here. One, two. Okay, so just quite literally this, I assume. Two bone and 2 hide. Okay, and there we go. Let's take a look at these. I am stoked on this. So Flint Qatar, one hand, 2 dice plus 1 hits, a single red, pushback 1, opening 1, and if you have 2 of them, you roll an extra die. That is cool. Keywords being Flint and Qatar. Flint Sling, 2 dice plus 1 hits, a single reds, 2 to 4 range, so that means you can only attack if you're within that specific range, and commits, which means, just from remembering the base game, you have to spend a fate to use it. Petrified, Tree, Club, 1 dice plus 2, 2 reds, break 1, and if you have 7 plus danger, break 2 instead. So big, wacky, wacky stick, essentially. And 2 shields is kind of interesting. So we have 3 weapons and 2 shields. So someone is going to only have a shield, which is fine. This one looks like it's a bit more of a tanky one. All right, monstrous leather. So this is some no, this is just some support gear. It's not actually a armor piece, I believe. Just, oh, is it armor? I can't remember the symbology. That might be armor. So giving you a reroll on a dodge or reposition 1. If I remember correctly, at the end of your turn, reposition 1 is when you can move 1 point of movement. So not amazing, but definitely nice. Like, extra movement is always good. Siren Buckler. So this has 2 charges and reposition 1, and you can spend a charge and a fate to dodge. So a fate and a charge is a little bit more expensive than being able to just spend as much fate as you want. But dodge is strong, and I think it means you just negate a hit. I can't remember for sure though. 2 dice plus 0 and a red dice. So my guess on the loadout is we're going to give probably the Siren Buckler and either the club or the Qatar to our tank person, and then the tree shield will probably just be someone's solo weapon because it looks a little bit more geared to attack with 2 dice plus 1 to hit, a single reds, and then a crit evade. Place 2 break tokens in the Kratos pool. So I think what we'd probably do is tree shield and monster at the leather on the same person. Reason being, gives us just some more chance to reroll dice there, which is nice. But that is the end of chapter 3. So let's go on to the next one. What is this here? Okay, this is basically like if you want to do another battle, you can. Chapter 4, Crossing the Threshold, approximately 60 minutes, so a little bit longer here. All right, let's jump right in. At first, the thought of transforming into titans and facing the monster thrilled you, but that feeling was as fleeting as the morning dew. When it passed, what was left was a sobering realization that you would have to surrender yourselves to this dark hunger, that even if you did, you might still die, and even if you don't, you may never be the same again. The beast is circling around us, Iolo states, with a hint of admiration, surveying the dusking horizon from your lookout atop the boulders, not far from the Bronze People kiln. It'll pass us to the south, then cut off our access to the shore. We'd have to come at it or go back the way we came, right into the white-clad's hands. Clever thing. Pack up. We need to slip from this noose. Leave it, he adds, tracing your gaze to the giant weapons. Are you serious? You can't hide your disbelief and anger. You spent 2 days repairing them, then hauling them outside. 2 days to move them a few meager meters, and now you're just going to abandon them. For there is no way to travel with them without turning into a titan. Life is about knowing when to cut your losses, Iolo says curtly. Good to learn this lesson early. There is a port town not far from here, Anthedon. We'll head there. And hope. Put that hard-earned gear aside. Maybe you'll have a chance to regain it. Interesting. So just the leadership token gets moves again, and sometimes it'll have things in the middle like experience, which is not the case now. So we shall go whoop over there. Okay, so before you do anything, flip Tremor's Child card. It shows a helpful code and a summary of arrival, which might come in handy soon. That'll be this one over here, which we do already have flipped. Well, let's take a closer look. Story code. Oh, I have no idea what that's about. Arrival, entering a city. Looming doom, respite. So last visited city, that's... If you remove the adversary this way, gain the game as a foot special card. Interesting. Rest. So you can only rest if you weren't at the city last. City exploration for these abilities, spend experience, prepare for the next journey. Departure at the beginning of the next campaign round, leave the last visited city token on the node and move the Oikos manager to a new node. Okay, cool. Here's a bigger breakdown of it if you want to pause the screen and read it yourself here too. Oh, scratch this. This is actually just a full sequence of the round, which again, I like that this is here. And this feels like a much tighter version than what's in ATO. I have a someone put together a sheet that I use, and it's like a full page rather than this being half a page. So concise by comparison. Cool, 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 cool. All right, so let's see. Alrighty, Roo. Well, I'm going to read this to myself. Feel free to pause right now, and I shall skip ahead to once I've finished reading. All right, for starters, we're going to move. So let's go ahead and flip this card and take a little looky-loo on what we can expect. So there's a city for sure. We've also got a coast. Good stuff, good stuff. Fun. And specifically before we draw a adventure card here, is that the name of it? Exploration card. We need to resolve this thing. And part of that is seeding with tokens. So let's go ahead and do that. We need a U. I can flip you over. Leave you right there. And we need a beast symbol and a doom symbol. I see no doom symbol. Are you on the opposite side of that? No, you are not. That's interesting. Ooh, yeah, very interesting. So I don't actually see that symbol on any of the exploration symbols. Very, very interesting. Well, I guess we can't do that one. And yeah, the other one's not there too, so never mind. Let's just go back and see what we're supposed to do here. All right, so we've moved, but before we do the card, we need to do the Hunted Grounds thing, which is an action, which is going to require us, let's see, Hunt Beasts, Hunted Ground, node only. Gain +1 Oikos Fate during the exploration step to draw 3 tokens from the Journey bag. So that's what we're doing. So let's gain a Fate going up to 3 and see how we do this bag. The Journey bag holds various tokens accumulated during play, mostly supplying beast tokens that help players during tests, as well as a few no-game tokens. All right, so 3 blanks, 2 beasts, 4 red, and 1 players draw from the bag in the hunt phase in action. Okay, so we need to make the bag here. So 3 blanks, 2 grays. Very exciting stuff, but make this bag we shall do. All right. Oh, so it's just everything. Okay, that's shuffled, and then we draw 3 tokens, I believe it was. We can refer back here. 3 tokens from the Journey bag. Let's go 1, 2, and 3. So we get 2 yellow things, which correspond to a certain kind of check that we can do, if I remember correctly. And then this does the same, but I can't remember what. Remember, you add all to your Journey bag, while any drawn tokens are returned to the bag without effect. Okay. One thing I'm not sure on if so okay, so the gray with the line through it are just returned to the bag without effect, so we don't have to worry about that. But I assume because this one doesn't have a line through it, we can keep it. I just think it might not actually do anything or something like that. Okay, so with that in mind, we shall take that off. We are now here, and let's do that card. And this is black, so it's another wilderness card. Ooh, the very last one. Very, very interesting. Orchamian Outskirts. The salty eastern breeze carries the promise of a long journey. I will never forget going on a cross-Canada road trip when I was a younger lad and making it back to the coast and smelling the ocean. It was a cool feeling, so respect to that for sure. All right, so we're going to be resolving this twice because we have 5. So it's going to be going to spaces. And we'll just go 1 and 2. There we go. Danger, danger. What else is on that card? Space will inform you of any progression of threats. So that is it. Nice and light on the exploration card front. Good stuff. Okay, cool. There's nothing more to do here. Doom sounds ominous indeed. Doom nodes are another type of node you resolve before expiration draw, and they're always round. You resolve them each time you enter them. This simply causes you to gain +1 Doom and place it on your current Doom card. You don't have a Doom card just yet, but that's not a problem. Excess Doom from a Doom card is always moved onto the next Doom card. So place the token in the journey pool and move it onto the Doom card as soon as you gain one. I'll just put that there. All right, there's a whole bunch of stuff to read here, so again, feel free to pause, and we'll catch up soon. All right, so we are scooting forward. We are on this Doom card. We are going to draw a city exploration, getting a remote homestead. Few are willing to risk the dangers of living on the edge of the old forest. So this jolly old two-headed wolf is scooting closer and closer behind us. Resolve an effect based on your reputation with the local faction. Idolized, gain +1, rejected, indifferent, disliked, infamous, vilified. And the faction is Boeotians. And this is just a, oh my goodness, is that a little tiny derpy smiley face? I think that might be a little tiny derpy smiley face, and I am here for that. Okay, so factions. In this case, it's just to do with A1 or A2, I believe. Let's double check. Like a sheet, if A2 is marked on the choice matrix, mark +0 on the track. If A1 is marked, mark -1. So we have, ooh, okay. So -1, which brings us down to there. So we are disliked. So because we are disliked, we gain an Oikos Fate. Bring us up to 4, which is a little worrisome. Did we gain a threat here too? Oh, yes, we did. All right, so let's add that, going up to 6. Oh, I think that's an adventure symbol. That's not the symbol that I have, but we'll follow this. Draw an event card. Let's draw an event card. Foreign Contagion. One of the last ships from Crete has brought on board an unwanted passenger. Perform a beast check. Here you will find immediate journey effects. What is a beast check? Let's see. Infamy. We don't have nearly that kind of stuff going on, but let's see. So infamous or worse. Always apply expression card gated effects. But what is a beast check? Okay, well, I assume, I don't actually know if these stay, I think they do stay out, but I don't know for sure. But anyways, we shall draw. So what are we trying to draw here for a beast thing? I quite literally just read it. Draw 3 tokens from the journey bag. If at least 2 of them are beast tokens, a new strange beast appears. 1 and 2. No dealio. So we don't get any beastie, which is too bad. The Gigaton would have been cool to see in play. All right, anyways, we have a whole lot more text to read here. So again, feel free to pause your screen now and read it if you would like, and I'm going to skip ahead until after I've done it. Okay, cool. So we scoot ahead, and we need to do a beast check here, but basically this is where the tutorial is going to tutorial, and we are going to just make it happen, essentially. All right, so now, as you have to draw a expression card from the expiration deck, so usually you draw the beast card from the random of a beast encounter deck. Draw a random beast from the bottom of the beast encounter deck, but we're just taking the Gigaton beast encounter card, placing it on top of the civilization deck. Also place the corresponding beast miniature, the Gigaton, in the journey pool. I'm not too sure what the journey pool is. I think it's just this collection of stuff up here, maybe. So we've already got that. We've got the marauding Gigaton, which is pretty cool. So resolve 1 movement, place an escalation token in the journey pool. After resolving this card, discard it and draw another card. Food chains, Othros the Bloodhound. So that means Othros munches this fella. I zoom in on you, kind of. Can I change your angle? No. Or I bet I can, I just don't know. Just wanted to see the little sculpt, it's cool. All right, so we've got the Gigaton. Force you to move the adversary, that we shall do. Catching up to us. So I should probably just read it up here, hey? An escalation token. Okay, which is the escalation token? That guy. There is no threat battle, so we can ignore it. Finally, observe disposal. Then draw another card. Okay. Cool, so this makes it a permanent one. Athedon's Farmland. So we draw the next card. Here we go. I guess technically speaking, that should be there. Put you on top. Fertile farmlands that feed the whole Boeotian coast. Ooh, okay, so draw a supply token. So we're going to do it slightly different. We're just going to scoop up a token, getting a blink. So we'll put that one back. And then moving the adversary again. So it is catching up. Scary times, very scary times. The monster is so close we can feel it nipping on our heels. Indeed. Move onto the large city node. That we shall. So we shall scoop on down. Again, I love these new cards. This is a really cool little system. I like it a lot. So Athedon, there we go. Draw the last city exploration card. Here we go. Athedon Coast. Before you lies the port town of Athedon. All right, so it's going to come after us again. Our fate is not 7-up, so we don't need to worry about that. We're actually 2. Ooh. Oh, goodness. Is it going to catch us? Is it going to catch us? Let's just see what this says. Oh no, your current threat level enhances the effect, so you have to move Orthros 2 nodes towards you, which would take them right onto your node. This in turn would trigger an adversary battle at the end of the step, one you would not win. That is looking grim. There is one chance, though, the Cover Your Tracks Oikos action. It's right there on the Oikos action reference sheet. Cover your tracks. Let us see. Gain a fate to slow down the adversary movement by 1 to a minimum of 1. Well, you better believe that we are doing that, going up to 5 fate and changing the movement to 1. Huzzah. It's kind of fun. So this bottom part here in the full game basically says, although we don't recommend it, you are welcome to have this fight and have anything that happens in it carry over into the full game campaign, which is pretty interesting. And so hopefully you finished the exploration step safely. All right, so before we do the city note stuff, let's read this bit of story here. Your luck ran out a day's journey from Athedon. Torrential rain has drowned the poorly maintained high road, forcing you to seek shelter within nearby hills, barrows, or some such. Yolos tells you as you wade through ankle-deep mud. Plenty of spaces to hide. Rain should mask our scent. We may yet pull through. Yet? Beneath the sky, blackened with night and trembling in the lash of storm, you find a cave. Half swallowed by ivy and thorns, the work of nature or ancient grave robbers, perhaps. The old stones would not tell. Air hangs thick with a scent of deep earth and the memory of roots, and something else, something you cannot quite put your fingers on, something not quite right. Nevertheless, rain smites the ground in unrelenting fury, and the cave offers a safe haven. You take a step forward. Wait! Aeolus hisses, spear in hand, his stance suddenly low, aggressive. A shadow moves within the cave. Light, now! The torchbearer kindles a lone flame. Barely does it flicker before Aeolus snatches it and throws it inside. The light arcs a trail against the creeping black, and the thing it hides. A thing of many giant hands, grasping at air, clasping each other, twisting in unnatural shapes, like the boughs of a crooked tree, or the venomous heads of the mythical Hydra. Even the rain cannot wholly swallow the sound of knuckles cracking. Knuckles cracking, something intrinsically tied to obviously the Hecaton being a monster of hands, but also to the grin, the hand monsters of enormity, which is just kind of fun to see it here too. Back, Aeolus hisses through clenched teeth. Back! The howl pierces the night like thunder. It booms so close that your ears pop, and the sound wave makes you stagger. The primordial within the cave answers with its own cacophonic roar and jumps forward, past you onto the monster that has hounded you for the past fortnight. Ooh, interesting. Very interesting. As an aside, the Hecaton, if I remember correctly, cannot make any sound. So interesting that the Gigaton can. I'm curious if that's a overlook or on purpose. Go now, run! Aeolus tries to outshout the storm and the giant creatures, now locked in mortal struggle. The earth shakes with their frantic footsteps. Run! And you do. You run, and you run, and you don't look back. Only when it stops raining and the sun cuts the horizon do you allow yourselves to stop. Some of you collapse to the ground. Others sway on shaky legs, trying to catch your breaths. What was that? Your lucky break, Aeolus gasps. A pull of the Moirae. Before any of you come up with a suitably brash retort, he points east. Down from the olive-clad hills there lies the shining edge of the sea, blue as polished sapphire. Nestled upon its curve, surrounded from the coast by a high wall, is the port town of Athedon. You made it. Da-da-da-da! Cool, cool, cool. All right, so same thing here. I'm going to read ahead, and if you want to, pause, and you can read here too. Cool. So basically, just how codes are going to be delivered in this game, which is the same as Kingdoms of Lorn. And personally, I think this is. I don't know if they're going to have secret codes like in the base game, where there's like little numbers that you can find on various cards and get secrets from. But I like that this method of it. I haven't gotten to play with it yet, but I like it. All right, so let's read the secret code. Arrival: salt-swept Athedon, crowned with a wreath of salt and of high walls wrought from blocks of sun-baked limestone, stands the port town of Athedon. Buildings stack on top of each other in tiers, their whitewashed walls watching the morning light. None who were well-traveled in the lands of Hellas would call it grand, but for you, barely out the doorstep of your homes, it is a majestic gateway. Ships crowd in the embrace of the sickle-curved harbor. Slender-bowed triremes with eyes pointed upon their prows. Merchant galleys from Crete and Nubia, and smaller vessels laden with amphorae of oil, wine, and grain. Yet the most impressive is that outer wall, bruised and beaten by many a beast, but unbroken since the Eschaton. You feel safe here. Cool. So, help immerse yourself into the place you're visiting, but it may also contain additional mechanical instructions. Cool. Resolve arrival. C57 entering a city. So same idea. Feel free to pause and read this, and I'm going to do so on my own. Okay, so this is cool. So this is showcasing what a Heraclide card looks like. It's only in the full game, and I believe the class stuff is also only in the full game because we don't have this, and this specifically states it's only in the full game, so I might have missed that about the classes before. Um, and one thing interesting too, a part of being in the city is respite, which represents the passage of time, and part of that means we flip over all of the tiles that we're not on, and the idea behind it is that we can still see the map, but it removes stuff about the map. So if, for example, we were to come back to this one and go to this workshop, let's say we had unlocked the means to go down this way. When we're playing the campaign, we might not specifically remember where stuff is, but we know that there's something there that we want to visit. And so then this means that like we need to actually visit it to see what's what. Also, if I remember correctly, the diamond shapes mean that we can actually utilize those again and again rather than just once. I think that's how it is. Let's see. These nodes can only be used if there is a seasonal token on them. I think that's what this said back here. It does offer you a chance to resolve all those diamond shaped seasonal nodes again. Cool. Very cool, cool. And then also, if the adversary was on a different map tile, it would remove it too, which is really interesting. So basically, if you're on a city doing city stuff, the adversary cannot move closer to you, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that is interesting for sure. All right, so onwards. Whoa, there's a lot of text here. Skill bonus and penalties again. So let's jump into the story here. Like father. Athedon was never the plan, Aeolus explains. There was a ship waiting for you in a hidden cove a week's journey north along the coast, but its duty-bound captain had clear orders not to dally if you failed to meet the rendezvous. He could not jeopardize the safety of his other passengers. I have told you before, you are not special. Your father sired many children, and my obligation is to all of them equally. The ship will take them to, he hesitates, the cradle, where they may come of age in peace and learn to control their affliction. We will go there too, once I arrange for passage. Stay here, he adds, indicating the meager room you rented the previous night. The elation from witnessing the titanic clash of monsters and your subsequent... Excuse me just one second. The elation from witnessing the titanic clash of monsters and your subsequent fight deflates quickly, and as it dawns on you that Aeolus was not completely forthright before. When he told you you would look for a way to lift Heracles' curse together, you imagined an adventure-filled journey across Hellas, at the end of which you would confront your father. Instead, what he meant was to spirit you away to some hidden fortress where you would live out your days trying to suppress the dark urge eating at your hearts. Interesting. Not exactly the lives of heroes you dreamt about, and no justice for father's actions. Anger simmers, and you decide to walk it off, and see what a port city like Athedon has to offer, before you were crammed below the deck of some pentaconter and shipped off to the middle of nowhere. In truth, this is as far away as you've ever been from your homes. Some of you are old enough to remember father speaking of the glory of old Hellas, from before the dark times of the eschaton, of the Olympian age, marble colonnades, swift triremes, glorious soaring temples, and markets teeming with wonders from faraway lands. Athedon is not that. The streets are colorful but run down. The crowded market smells as much of foreign spices and olives as it does of bad fish and excitement. The temples have been robbed of their wealth and splendor, and now serve as markets, public squares, or inns. I say we ditch the old cadre and strike out on our own, the boldest of you proclaims. Again, with such bluster, another Heraclides counters. Go where exactly? Outside the walls, where that monster is waiting for us? We're Heracles' seed, for dead God's sake. We can easily outrun it. You don't know each other, not really. Blood binds you, that and the disdain for your father, and you see him reflected in the others now. The anger, the arrogance, the disregard for what others think. Why did he leave you and your mother to be with them and theirs? It's not fair. So you want to run, is that it? You truly are our father's bastard. Take that back. Tempers run high. The discussion becomes heated, drawing furtive looks from some passerbys. You feel the rage slowly bubbling to the surface, clawing its way out with each insult. Check your choice matrix if A2 is marked or if A1 is marked. Let us see. We have A1. So we're going to read 2. That is when you wander into a roofed square, strangely emptied of passerbys and merchants alike. The last few stragglers scurry to hide their wares. One of them throws an anxious look. Hey, good man, what's the hurry? One of you tries to strike a conversation, their apprehension growing. The man chances another look, then shakes his head and walks off, and makes off, as if he saw a monster. Several warriors in white pour into the square from adjoining streets, swords unsheathed, spears raised. Stand down, filthy Titan spawn. There is nowhere to run. You were taken by complete surprise. How did they find you, here of all places? Nobody even knows how you. Oh, that guard from the village west of the Orchomenion. He did a good. He did get a good look at you. And that what incentive did he have to keep quiet about it? Listen, we're not who you think, one of you starts, but the Whiteclads aren't here to talk. They aren't here to apprehend you either. They rush you and find yourselves in a fight for your very lives. Each Heraclides gains 2 danger. You cannot win, of course. They outnumber you 2 to 1, and you have no weapons. No way to defend yourselves, save that, the typhonic curse. You can turn this around, buy yourself and the others a chance, and all it will cost you to give, all it will cost you is to give in to the rage, which you longed for either way. And seeing the grimaces of fear and hatred plastered on the white-clads' faces makes it all too easy. Darkness fogs the firstborn's vision. Their muscles begin to spasm, then tear. Their blood boils. They wanted to transform into this creature so many times, to face the violence of monsters, and all it took was a few mortal words. It comes. Hoo-hoo! Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So +1 danger and losing a thingamajig. So +1 Okos rage. And losing a guy, so down to 3. Scene number 3. When you come to, you're on board an old pentacounter, slowly edging away from Athedon's shore. Your half-siblings are there. So is Ialos. There is an uncharacteristic softness to his gaze. Worry. It's past midday. What happened? You, Ialos weighs his words, you let the creature within you out. No, he raises his hand in protest. Do not resent yourself for it. It is a curse, one hard to overcome, even for those prepared for the ordeal. You were not. The transformation and what happened after are a blur, even for those of you who witnessed it. It was so violent and fast and kinetic, like an ambrosia explosion. Did I hurt anyone? None who didn't invite it, Iolo says. You've destroyed a few houses. Thankfully, no one saw you before the change, so when you reverted, we slipped away in the chaos. But you've scared scores of people. He adds, his brow furrowed. They will remember that for the rest of their days. How a titan and mortal skin has almost taken away all they hold dear. They will teach their children that, and they will learn to fear and hate you. But I didn't. No. Life's not fair, heir of Heracles, he sighs. Do you now see the reason for my plight? Will you now allow me to escort you to the cradle, where you can tame your powers, safe in the knowledge that you will not orphan any children or cause more misery to your other half-siblings still out there? You look to the wide, empty horizon of the great sea, scarcely a gull on the grayish sky, so peaceful. You do, and you will. So where are we going exactly? Where's this cradle? Somewhere safe, Aeolus replies enigmatically, where Eurystheus will never find you. We just need to skirt the hinterland of the old Minoan Sea Empire, Minos' reach, and we'll be on our way. ... So then we pass the firstborn token on, and this person would gain experience, but we're not doing that right now. Okay, cool. So I'm going to read this to myself. Feel free to pause and read it yourself too. Okay, one thing I wanted to see first here. Yeah, I'm going to read the other option just so we know, because it's quite literally telling us to. And this is why I freaking love these guys. This game is so huge. Like, this is just a or B option choice, and there's some substantial differences. Gaining what goes danger, hubris, losing a different thing, Boeotians, reputation -2. So, like, we lost the least, and yeah. Okay, so I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to go into a little bit here that I like. Okay, so... All right, so only the first sentence is the same, so we'll read the whole thing. That is when you wander into a roofed public square where a sizable crowd has gathered. It takes you a moment to realize you're inside a former temple, that of Athena, judging from the giant dismembered statue. A man is brought out, his hands tied, face bruised. Those who parade him around are wearing white cloaks. You fall silent, lower your heads, try to blend in. This wretch is accused of conspiring with Titan spawn, harboring them, feeding them, and helping them escape the rightful justice of mortals. You recognize the man. It is the guard from the village west of the Okomedion. Please, he whimpers. I didn't help anyone. I didn't do anything. Yes, the leader of the White Clads oozes. You certainly didn't. You saw them plunder the stores of your community and you did nothing. And when asked to identify them, you refused. No, I just couldn't. I didn't get a good look. You hear? He didn't get a good look, and he wasn't quick enough to stop them. How convenient. And at the same time, 2 days' march from Athedon, a village was razed to the ground, its inhabitants slaughtered and eaten. Women, children, eaten. You feel the mood of the crowd shift. Think on that. Eaten. It could have been you, just because this one man harbors love for Titan spawn. There are other white-clads moving among the crowd with giant baskets handing out stones. These monsters are out there because of this one man. They might be here now, walking among you. Will you let him get away with it? No, we will not. We will protect our children. The man is brought to his knees, and the white-clads drop back, giving him some space. And we will do that by sending a clear message. There will be no mercy for those who collude with Titan spawn. The growing anger of the crowd assails you. Someone pushes a stone into your hand. It is warm to the touch, almost insists you throw it. The accused man pleads and protests, but his cries are drowned out by the roar of this cruel spectacle. Someone throws the stone first, then another. The man wails in pain. The stones keep coming. You watch. The realization that is your fault grips your hearts. You robbed the village. You ran from the man. It is your fault. He will die because of you. Your powerlessness is overwhelming. Darkness fogs the firstborn vision. Their muscles... Okay, then this part is the same as we transform. So yeah, so obviously not like insanely different results and whatnot, but substantially different. And the how you get there is, which I really, really like. And then ultimately it ends the same on that one. But this was what I wanted to read outside. Okay, so as you can see, your previous choices will have unforeseen consequences, sometimes staggeringly so. A2 represented you robbing the village and running away, while A1 has you coming clean for what you might have perceived as the right reasons. In Aeon Trespass, nothing is that clear-cut. These choices, A1 and 2, have evolved from now, too. Maybe, in the future, they will represent the fate of that old guard, or what you did to those white-clads in that square. The game will never tell you outright what a matrix choice means. It will never hold your hand, so you are encouraged to keep copious notes on your adventures. That's the best way to anticipate what is to come, to piece together the deeper secrets of the world, and to get yourselves immersed in this legendary journey. That, yeah, to the fullest. I like to think myself having a really good memory for story and elements like that. By like middle cycle 1 in ATO, it was impossible to remember what like the phrase B3 referred to. And when we get together and play again, I think I might start taking some notes because there's so much that is just lost to memory about like just how freaking huge the scope of these games are. This marks the end of the Learn to Play. Leaving the port of Athedon, you've finally thrown off pursuit, for now. As the ship sluggishly sails toward your destination, the mysterious cradle, where you're supposed to hide for unforeseeable years, you contemplate your future. Gain 1 Sisyphus tier as a reward for finishing the Learn to Play. This mysterious divine resource will allow you to replay a lost battle. You should also reset your stats before you begin the campaign. There are lessons still to learn, but you know enough to freely explore Minos' reach. Look for progress symbols to future your quest. Beware of the doom, as gaining too much can spell, well, your doom. Remember to resolve all symbols on the Oikos Triskelion. Go on adventures to gain unique rewards and develop your characters and gather resources. Find your father. Huzzah! Cool, cool. That is it for this chapter and the Learn to Play. Okay, and then a severed line in the storybook. Your journey begins in earnest. Interesting. I don't know how to flip this around. I kind of want to read with that. All right, I think just because that's a little bit shorter, I'm probably going to do one more battle and try using the gear. So let's go ahead and do that. Alrighty, Roo. Picking up many moons later, where we left off with our Sins of Herackles Trail to Boeotia Learn to Play. We're going to face off against our Dream Pappy one more time. Right from the top, using some new kit, and none of the tutorial kind of guide rail stuff. So, again, this has been a hot minute since I played the Learn to Play, so I'm probably going to get some things wrong, but that's okay. Even when I played this game weekly, we still did things wrong, so that is okay. All right, as a quick refresher, going to read the new gear that we have, as well as refresh for the fight, and then jump right in. So let's start with the gear, because that's fun and exciting. So we kitted out Roar here, who has Stand Up, Stand Up, as an ability, with the Flint Sling. So the only range weapon we have, 2 dice, +1 to hit, 1 reg damage dice, and specifically range 2 to 4. It's also commit, which means we need to spend a fate to use it. So we got the fists here too, because we're not going to be using that all the time, at least I don't think so. Next up we have Torrent, who can spend a fate to reflex, move up to 1 space, a very useful ability. I might actually, you know what, I'm kind of tempted to maybe switch those around. Nah, we're going with it. Oh, good. This is just a Learn to Play battle anyways. With a Flint Catar. Cool to see Catars in the game. So 2 dice, +1 hit, a single red. Pushback 1, opening 1. We don't have paired, but that's cool that that exists. Opening means we get to leave an opening token. Pushback 1 means after the attack, I believe, we get to push the Titan back 1, or Primordial back 1. Shiver's going to be our tank, who has +2 Fury for any sort of test that we need to do. And being a very tanky character, we gave them the Siren Buckler, which is 2 dice, +0 to hit, 1 damage dice, reposition 1, which is fun. And then it's got 2, I'm going to have to grab some tokens here, but 2 activations to dodge, which is cool. I can't actually remember what dodge does. I think it's reroll 1 die? Might have to double check. Petrified Tree. Oh, oops, these are 2 shields. Wow, that changes things. I thought this was armor. Wellington. Let's go ahead and do, which one makes the most sense? This is dodge 2, 2 dice. What is the big club over? Oh, no, the club's over here. Club is +2, so let's do the +0. And I think that's actually going to change the club person into our tank. So Clubbyton, who I actually don't even have on the board yet. Let's move you back here. And you up there. Perfect. All right, let's do the tree shield first, though, and see what it is. So 2 dice, +1 to hit, 1 red dice, but also reroll 2, which I think is the dodge symbol, if I remember. Crit evade, place 2 break tokens in the Kratos pool. Good stuff. And lastly, Tremor, who can dash, which is pretty cool. If you're not the target or attacker, after the Primordial moves away from you, if there was a reaction symbol during this step, move up to 2 spaces in a straight line. This movement must bring you closer to the Primordial, which is cool. Alright, so this is going to be our tank. So we have the Petrified Tree Club, which we already know we haven't read yet. So this is 1 dice to hits, 2 modifier, 2 red dice, break 1, which is quite strong. Monstrous Leathers, 1 free reroll and reposition 1. And then the Siren Buckler, which we read earlier too. So fun stuff. As far as Big Boss Man here, Demigod Herackles. Alright, so we have Uncontrolled Anger, which is Original Sin. Cool. The Stranding. Demigod moves 3 spaces forward in a straight line, then turns to face the most Titans. If it moves through or ends on a Titan, that Titan does not suffer crash. So interesting about the not suffering crash. Knockback 5. I think that's what that symbol is, and I don't actually know what those ones are offhand. Obstacle, Indestructible, and nothing else there for the Strange Tree. Routine, Anger in your veins, lose 1 vitality, random Titan draws a Kratos card. That probably won't happen too much. Signature will, though. Dispassionate Slap. 2 dice, 10 plus to dodge, so it's hard to avoid. 1 danger. Okay, good stuff. And Stranding afterwards. And then this Shadow. So I think we'll take these off because we're starting from scratch. Additional step. Place this card on the wound stack space. After you deal a wound, always move this card to the top of the wound stack. Each time Demigod gains a wound, A double wound is treated as 2. Place a token on this card. After resolving the current action, if there are 3 more tokens on this card, discard all tokens and perform signature. Yes. Okay, cool. Well, let's jump right into this and see what our angry old pappy is going to do. Forehand slap. 2 dice, 10 plus, closest titan in front, closest titan in sight. Well, that is going to be our tank. All right, so 2 dice on 10 ups. So we'll go ahead and roll these 2. And I don't think we actually need to roll them in the dice roller. It's nice that they're there, but it's not necessary in my opinion. So 8 and 7, that'll be a no. However, we do have 1 reroll. So let's go ahead and reroll the crit die. Oh, that was the wrong button. No. Okay, so in that case, we're going to take the damage. So we take 2 danger, because I don't think there's any... Oh, gain the fear condition. Don't love that, but that's okay. Alright, so, oh, danger's up to 4. 1, 2. Alrighty, Ryu. Well, let's do a trauma draw, which is going to be... It's really handy that they have it in this bracket here. So that's going to be a major trauma. Just for fun, I shuffled everything too, just to make sure it's distinct from the normal. Alright, what do we get? Ensnared in Fate. Where does it all end? Gain the Fate-snared condition. Only in full game. Well, I mean, better than something awful. We'll put you up there. And then Fear? Was it Fear that we'd be getting? I think. Yes. Fear. Alright, you have -2 precision. If you gain this condition card a second time, or gain the dread, flip this card. Face your fear. When you deal a wound, discard this condition and gain a positive precision token. So this is kind of staple ATO, just ITU kind of on-brand stuff, where you get a negative, and if you're able to overcome it, it becomes a positive. Cool. And is there anything else for us to happen? After attack, Stranding. Check and see. Nope. Okay, Stranding. Move 3 spaces forward in a straight line. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. Let's just see. 1, 2, 3 to there. Cool. So we don't need to suffer knockback or anything. Oops. There we go. And that is our turn. So does anyone have any rage? No, we do not. So, stranding happens a lot, and usually it's move, let me just reread that again, in a straight line. Then turn to face the most titans. So we do need to turn him. Going the long way around, pulling a Zoolander. There we go. So moving forward in a straight line is going to get him closer to our buddies. So the question is, do we want to take a -1 to hit if we go into the blind spot? That would be a net positive. Or we could try to go in with someone first. Maybe let's see. We could go with our range person. Because what is their range? 2 to 4, and this is Roar. What color is Roar? Sharky guy. Right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice, we're perfectly in range, so let's go ahead and do Roar. So we're going to spend a fate to attack. 2 dice plus 1. Alrighty, Roo. Let's see how we do. Okay, so we get 1 hit. We did have to spend a fate for this. We know it's just a BP 1 that we're going for. Do we want to spend another fate? We're in here for fun. Let's do it. Oh, that might just connect. Let's just add that fate there before we forget. Okay, so we do get +1, so that is going to be 10 and 7. Nice, 7 is exactly what we needed. Huzzah! So we do get 2 hits. That is good. Let's see what we connect with. Sandaled Foot. All right, so we just need 1. That is good. And we're going to roll 2 dice here. Oh, beauty. So we super wound the Sandaled Foot. BP deck. Discard. It's going to move this over here, actually. Alright, so we don't need to worry about fail. That's good. And we also don't get a crit, but that's okay. I kind of want to see what's here. So your attack barely grazes his foot, but sends a sandal flying. A brief smile passes across his lips. So if you crit daddy, he likes it. That sounds a little bit creepy, but I mean, we'll go with it. Discard all tokens from the uncontrollable anger trait. Oh, that's kind of fun. Alright, so there we go. We've done a wound, and now we need to escalate, which has been refined a little bit, I recall. So BP 1 or 2, shuffle the BP card of higher order from the appropriate escalation deck into the BP. That we do. So this is a BP 2. There we go. Shuffle you up. And then we need to get rid of an AI 1, so we'll put you up there. See, pushing the wrong buttons. And get an AI 2. And shuffle that up. Boom, boom, boom. All right, and from making that attack, I forgot to add our rage. There we go, which makes us the priority target. And we can leave a token. So I think we are going to leave an opening token. Tokens were down. Dice, 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 dice. Break and opening. We'll just put it right there. All right, cool. So that is their turn. I don't think Roar is going to do anything else. I guess they could move. Do we want them to move? Let's just go up to here. Cool, so we'll move 2. All right, let's do our tanky buddy next. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. Oops, getting into the blind spot. There we go. Okay, and so we are going to swing in with the Petrified Shriek Club here. So we get only the 1 dice. The, let's see, so we have, does this just end up being a straight? So we get +2 to hits, so we get a +1 to hit, essentially, because the +2 is canceled out from the -2, but we have, oh no, actually we end up with +2. Huzzah! We get that because we're in the blind spot, and then also from the opening token. So +2, 1 dice. Oh, that is the wrong dice. 3, so we're going to spend a fate on that for sure. Oh, 6 is just shy, and we cannot reroll a reroll dice. So that is a shame. We do get a rage, but we don't hit, so we don't get to leave a token, if I remember correctly. So that is too bad. We still had that in play. All right, well, no other ill effects there, I do believe. Let's just double check. Yeah, one thing I forgot to do is also putting a token on uncontrollable anger. So we got that there. Okay, so who do you want to go with next? We've got Qatar and Shield Person. And which is which? Shield Person is closer. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go with the further person. So they're going to move their full 5. And they rush. No, because they need to... Oh, yeah, they can. Huzzah. Well, let's go ahead and do that. So we'll spend a fate. Perform a melee attack with auto break 1. Huzzah. Let's do it. All right, so that gives us a rage. Auto break 1. So we don't have any tokens. We have the auto break. So we have 2 dice with the True Shield, getting +1 to hit. So we need 6s, please. We get 1. We've spent a fate already. And we're just targeting a BP 1. So I think we'll probably just leave that there. Let's see what we connect with. Broad shoulders. Look at that back. Okay, so in this case, we have an auto break, which is nice. So this token is gone. Just going to put that up there. All right, and we're just going to roll the 1 dice. 1. That is not enough, alas. Is there anything else to make use of there? Crit evade, no diggity. Okay, so we fail. What happens from failing here? Nothing. That is nice. Okay, and we do get to leave a token. So the person that's going up next is the Qatar, which has 2 dice plus 1 to hit. So let's leave a precision token. So pop back down. There we go. All right, Qatar person, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And let's pull this up again. So 2 dice plus 2 to hit. That is not enough. Ouchie kibbles. Let's go ahead and wait here and re-roll the crit dice. All right, so we do... Oh, bugger, I probably should have looked at what's coming up next. It's a PP2, meaning we're probably not going to be able to wound with the 1. So I'm going to do a quick little retcon and take 2 fate and try to re-roll the other one here. Nice. So we do connect. Let's see what we're connecting with. Closed fist. Man, all of frickin' Demigod Papa cards and attacks are just, like, I think I said this in the first playthrough of the Learn to Play, but just so, like, family abuse coded. Like, I feel like for some it almost needs a, like, trigger warning. Okay, so 4, and there is a fail response. So, with the Qatar here, we do have pushback. Opening what? I need to check opening, because I cannot remember. Opening. I think it just means we get to leave an opening token next, if I remember correctly. So let's just put it off to the side for now. And we have... So that one's been used. Pushback 1. I assume that happens... Now, and we'll do 3, 4, 5. So that's kind of a misplay there, but that's all right. Pretty sure that that causes him to be knocked down too. So we'll just, whoopsies. Now do my flip you. Yep, there we go. Misplay on my part, so rough first turn, but that's okay. Back to this. So we just have the 2 dice. Was there an auto break or no? So that is 3. I don't think there was an auto break, and we need 4. So at this point, we do not have a reroll. Bugger. Bugger for sure. Yeah, rough first turn here. Started really good with the 1 wound, but alas. All right, what is the fail? Gain a danger. That we shall, up to 3. And then knockback 5, which we can avoid. Do we care about knockback 5? Not really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wonder how that interacts with the pushback, though. I think because he's not in melee, I don't think the knockback would happen. That's going to be how I play it for now, at least. Okay, so that is our first turn. All around, not that great. Let's see what he's going to do next. Casual push. Closest Titan in front. Well, that is going to be one of the 2 here. As far as who we want... And a tanky person, probably that. So we'll scoot on up. 2 dice, 9 up, and they deal 2 danger, which is pretty ouchy kibbles. No diggity, but we do have the reroll shield here, so let's do that again. No diggity. So we take 4 danger, which is quite a bit. One, 2, 3, 4, and taking a major trauma. Moment of Clarity. Gain 1 XP, then unexhaust a battle ability card, only in the full game. I think getting an XP is sweet. Again, I don't think that that was actually in the demo, unless I missed something, which is clearly possible too. Okay. Oh, I should have given this person the knocked down, which was the afraid person. Huzzah! They're just all of the conditions so far. Okay, show. After attack, knockback 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that is the end of his turn. Can this person get up? No, they cannot. That's too bad. Would have been perfect if it was the person that could, but alas. Okay, so they are knocked down. With that in mind, I guess we probably just go with the Qatar person again. They're gonna go. Is that the Qatar person, or am I mixing them up here? It would be kind of nice. I kind of wish like so we got the color coded bases. It would have been nice if we had a little bit of that color coding on the Titan sheets here too. So we could do Shiver. Shiver's got a lot of danger, which I don't love. They're knocked down. Short guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Short guy is perfectly in range. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to spend another fate, going up to 3. Oh, I did forget actually about leaving tokens here too. So we got an opening and could have done another one too. So what is this guy again? We already have +1. We've got +2. It's just the 2 dice, I think. Yeah, let's do an opening and a break. So we've got the auto opening, and we'll put a break in there too. Okay, so we've got that already. 2 dice. Oh, I'm rolling the wrong dice again. Okay, that is good. What is this? An AI BP 1 or 2? It is just a 1, and we've got the break, so I think let's not spend the fate. Okay, hand that held. Oh, how sad. When you strike, it clenches into a fist. So be it. Yeah. Oh, goodness. All right, so we just need the 1. We only have the 1 dice, and we do have a... Oops, wrong one. A break. Perfect. So we do a wound. Nice. So that is 2 tokens on Uncontrollable Rage. We add another BP2 here. Shuffle you. Stick you off. Shoot up there. Shoot back. Shoot you back. And shuffle. All right, nice. So we've done 2 out of 6 wounds now. Might try to get to 8 or 10. We'll see, because I think it said as a challenge, try to get up higher. You need to do 9 wounds instead of 6. HPP has +1 AT. Yeah. Well, we'll see how this goes. I might just do 6, just based on time here. Okay, so we've had the 1 person go. They also would have added a rage, which I forgot, meaning that they do have a reroll, which is noise, and leaving a token. So I think our person that we want to leave opening specifically for is knocked down, so we're not too concerned about that. So it's +1 and +1. I think probably let's go with Qatar person, and they just have the +1, so we'll leave an opening. All right, so Qatar person gonna get another rage. They can circle around back, but if we do and they get stranding, is stranding move forward in a straight line? Yes, it is. Let's do that. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In which case we have a 2. I'm going to switch this actually. We're going to do. Should have thought of this before, but that's okay. We're going to leave a break, and then we've got the extra opening from being in the blind spot, is the plan. So 2 dice plus 2 to hit. All right, that looks like, just a quick drink of water there. Nice. So 2 hits on the BP2. What is the BP2? Torn Rotator. Ooh, nasty. So we need 4. And a wound effect and a crit effect. So we don't get a crit, and we do want to wound. So let's see how we do. So we get 2 dice. We do have a reroll. Okay, so we need to reroll 1. Sorry, I hit the wrong button there. It's going to... That was a little janky, because... Okay, you know what? That's fine, because technically I rerolled it twice, but I did it all weird and janky from hitting the wrong button. Okay, so we don't wound, which I mean, ultimately, because there's not a fail response, that could be worse. We're still able to leave tokens. In which case, with the shield coming up next, we'll probably leave a opening token. So pop you down, pop you back up. Bit of a bummer, but that's okay. Next up we have... Ooh, do we want to charge? Yeah, no, I don't think we want to charge with you. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should probably turn you around. We're going to gain a rage and attack. So 2 dice plus 1 to hit. 6 and 3 ain't it. Ooh, no, we left a, so plus 2. So 6 would hit, that's nice. And then I guess we will, it's just the 1, so let's not spend the fate. Powerful leg. Okay, so luckily we do have a reroll here if we need it. Let's try this dice that betrayed me again. Okay, that should not quite do it. We need to reroll because we do not have a break. Okay, we do not do it. Fail, gain a danger, and knock back 5. So up to 7 danger, which is scary. And knock back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. They are now standing up. And that's the end of our turn. So again, not a great turn. We managed to do a single wound. Ooh. Okay, well, let's see what he's going to do with his AI2. Killing of the Cub. Oh, so dark. All right, priority targets. Priority target is Shark Boy here. So that's going to be it. Move and attack. So we're going to go up over yonder. There we go. 3 dice, 8 plus. All right, Shark Boy, 3 dice, 8 plus. Let's go. Do you have any? No, you just have stand up. That was a weird roll again. I don't know why I'm struggling with hitting that button. Okay, well, we've got 1. I think we're probably going to... Well, how bad is this one? 1 danger. And stranding. Okay, let's just take the 2. We get a major trauma. Gain the bravery condition card. Cool, cool. I don't know if I'm familiar with bravery. Courage, hatred, knockdown. Bravery. You have +2 precision. Discard this card if you fully miss an attack or fail to wound. That is quite cool. Strength with a chance of losing it. All right, and then perform stranding. So he's going to move forward 3 spaces in a straight line, going 1, 2, 3 up to there, and we don't need to worry about knock back or knock down or anything. Okay, well, and then turn to face the most Titans, who's going to turn around. Okay, this person is flipped. There we go. So it doesn't make sense for them to go first. Probably go with Shield Person in the blind spot, although I'm kind of worried about the amount of danger that they have. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, just go 3. We'll be around here too. And we're going to again spend the fate. Oh, who went last? Who did go last? Oh, I guess technically it would have been him, so he wouldn't have been able to do anything, meaning tokens are lost. So we don't have any tokens in the pool. Okay, well, let's open with our ranged person again, and we have the extra +2, which is pretty cool. It's a BP1, so not too much stress, hopefully. So 2 dice plus 3 to hits. Six. Okay, so we get the 1. If we fail to wound, we lose this. So I think we will spend... Oh, we had to spend a fate to do that. This is just the 1. We don't have any breaks. Oh, this is a gamble. Do we want to permanently lose the +2 or spend an extra fate? Let's spend the extra fate. We're going fate crazy. Oh, bummer. Okay, let's see what we connect with. Back of Fate, or Back of Atlas is a 3, so I don't think it's possible for us to wound, because we just have the 1 die. Got 3. Bummer. Okay, well, let's roll the die. I'm pretty sure it's impossible. Yep, no diggity, but no ill effects there. We just lose our fun thing that we just got. Bummer. So we'll put you up there. Yeah, we do get to leave a couple tokens, though. So I think it's probably going to be... Who's going next? Probably Qatar person. So we'll leave a... Opening and a break, I think. Yeah. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Full moving to do so. 2 dice plus 2 to hit. That's not gonna do it. Oh man, my dice rolls are just cursed so far. Okay, well, I guess we'll spend 2 fate and try that again. Just do the 1 and re-roll the crit dice. Okay, that will hit. That's another 3. So that is also going to be impossible to wound. Bummer. We do get to leave 2 tokens at least, so we shall leave 1 of each. Because that would have been 1 die, so it would have been impossible. So yeah, major league bummer. That is the way the game goes, though. Okay, we can get into the blind spot, so let's go ahead and do that. We do also need to... shuffle up this deck. Okay, so we just got a 1 on top. And we are in the blind spot, so we get a +1. So let's do this combo again with the shield. So 2 dice plus 3 to hit. Okay, that one will definitely hit. The other one will not. After just that kind of mishap, I think we're going to spend the fate here and reroll this guy. Okay, that will hit with the +3. Okay, glad we did that, because we need 3. So 2 dice. Oh, baby. Okay, we didn't even need the break token, so that is nice. Okay, there we go. Okay, gain a... Of course it says person in the knockback 5. You also would have been up to there, actually. 2. And knockback 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we don't need to draw any traumas because it wasn't an attack. All right, and we do also need to resolve this. So let's go ahead and do that now. Perform signature. Ooh, this might have been a bad call, actually. We'll see. Target closest Titan in front. No, not too bad. Okay. 2 dice, 10 plus on Qatar Lady. No diggity, and we don't have any dodge or anything there. Oh, I wonder. Let's just see. Yes, so movement's done. I think what we would do is spend a fate to reflex and negate that attack. No, that wouldn't work because it would. Would that work? I can't remember. I think from my read to actually like out of range evade something. Yeah, I can't remember. I'd be curious if anyone's watching at this point. When the reflex comes into play, after the move or before the move? Because I cannot recall. I wonder if it says here. Move up to one space as a reaction. Yeah, I don't remember. I'm just gonna play just the way I did, just because we're just having fun here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the opposite, but whatever. This is just a cheesy, fun little prologue fight, just for kicks anyway. So no stakes and no verties. Okay, so we spent a fate and outer range evaded that, and then tokens are all off of there. So now we need to get another VP2. Shuffle that in. AI1 is gone. AI2 is in. Shuffle that. And who else do we have to go? We have the person that is too far away. Signature probably is stranding at the end. Yes, perfecto. I was hoping that was going to happen. 1, 2, 3. So we'll get shunted. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we dash, can we make it? Rush. Move with +1, 6. Yes, we can. Okay, so we're going to spend a fate, gain a rage. That is gone. And the last person would have left. Okay, so that's fine by me. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're not in the blind spot, but we're within range to hit, which is good. Okay, so what do we actually wanted that to be? 2 openings? I kind of think we get the +2. So +2 is negated, and then +1. We only get the 1 dice, so I think let's do 2 openings instead. If I flip you, are you? No. All right, and auto break 1. Yep, so the 2 openings is going to be the move. We get the 1 dice. Fingers crossed. Oh, I'm rolling the wrong one again. Whoopsies. 8 + 1 is a 9. That will absolutely hit. Good stuff. Okay, let's just take a look at fear. When you deal a wound. Not when you hit, when you deal a wound. So specifics there. This is a BP2. Bloodied Loinclaw. So only 3 AT. And we have 2 dice. Auto break. Let's do it. Auto break, baby! Huzzah! We are able to make that happen and do 3. Nice. Okay, so put that there. Add a token back there, and just gonna make sure, oh yeah, it's the exact same. So we'll put a BP3 into the deck. Shuffle you. Should be taking out a AI1, right there, and putting in an AI3. Back on top, and shuffle you. Cool. Well, how many do we have here? We have 4. So I think we'll probably just do it to 6. Just, again, just time considerations and not doing this like the actual campaign or anything. So let's see. I think that was deal a wound, gain a positive precision token. Put that there. Get rid of that. right, so that should have been everyone's turn. Yeah, so back to its go, and we have a AI2. Let's see what we do. Deadbeat. Oh my goodness, there he is, beating his kids. Okay, furthest Titan in front in range 7. Furthest Titan in front in range 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, too far, but this one will do. Move and attack all Titans in path. Okay, well, luckily that's just going to be the one. Cool card, though. All right, how much fate does... Is that the Qatar person? Yes, it is. 3. Okay, so we are below the fate threshold for this card. That is good. 2 dice, 9 plus. No diggity. I don't think we're going to bother re-rolling. So we'll go up to 5. That'll obviously be a trauma. Dread. Gain the Dread condition card. Specifically Dread, not Fear. So that is worse. You have -4 precision. While on a rear space, weak spot, or VP, you have, ooh, VP. So one thing that we haven't seen anything of for Sins of Herackles is if we're going to have the BP or VP spots that are actually like physically on the miniatures. I hope so. It's such a silly, like not necessary thing, but I think it's so freaking cool. So I would love to see this carried forward. And we haven't heard of it, so like I mean, like I hope so, but I don't know. Good to know that there are still VP spots though. Okay. So Dread is hard. I did not like Dread in ATO Cycle 1, and I do not like it now. Okay, but that is this card done. So now Stranding. So 3 spaces forward in a straight line. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. There, and then turn to face the most Titans. All right, and that is back to us. So I think it probably makes the most sense to... We can't get on the blind spot, so I don't think we should attack with them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 6. Alas. So probably Shark Boy. Go 1, 2, 3, 4 to get him 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away. We shall spend a fate to attack. Oh, we would have gotten to leave tokens last time too. So that would have been just an opening and a break. Again, let's go back and look at this weapon. Oh, break would be nice. Break would be very nice. Oh, we actually do get a break. We'll do one of each. All right, 2 dice, getting a +2 to hit. So we need 5s. Oh my god. They've just been whiffing super hard. I think you know what? Let's go not crazy. We're just going to play smart, and that's the end of their turn. They did hit at least, so we can leave tokens. So let's go ahead and do that. So range up to 4. Alrighty, so we can leave 2 tokens. Precision. And it's of 2, and it's specifically when you wound. Yeah, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, yeah. I don't even think it really makes sense to attack, except to get the BP2 off. But, like, even then... I mean, let's try to be the hero. Let's frickin' do it. So let's leave 2 opening tokens in. We can't get on the blind spot. But we're going for glory anyways. We are looking to do it. So we have -1 to hit, 2 dice. We do get 1 hit. Let's freaking do it. Why not? Why not? Let's re-roll the dice. Oh, baby. Sweet. Okay. Well, let's see what BB2 this is. Closed fist. Okay, so 4. That's possible, right? Push back 1 and opening 1. So we'll leave 2 opening tokens. That is noise. And push back 1. So it's going to go boop. And okay, so 2 dice. Looking for 4. That is not going to do it. I feel like this should be 4. In which case, we get 2 rerolls. Let's go ahead and reroll both of those. The exact same. Because, yeah, we don't have any breaks. So, close. Close, but no cigarillo. And then it is fail, of course. So 1 danger and knockback 5. Which I think I'm not going to play because we are out of melee. All right, let's show you 1, 2. So we're just going to move, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is our turn. Again, whiffing continuing of turn, but on the bright side, we do just need to do 1 more wound. Let's see. I kind of want to, you know what, I'm going to gut this a little bit, and I'm going to make the AI 3 card on here, because I want to see what it is. Unwanted. Oh! Okay, closest knockdown Titan. Closest Titan in sight. 1, 2, 1. Okay, well that's going to be the person that's got the dreaded condition. Judge! Okay, so Judge. And those are the stats that we can do. Well, I don't know what we get to roll for that because we don't actually have a card. Shall... Oh, yeah, I actually can't remember how that's gonna work. Oh well. How do I do this? It looks like normal in that regard, but each hit deals 3 plus danger. I don't know what those symbols mean. I think they are some sort of stats, but I can't recall. So that is too bad, but oh well. Okay, that is none. Each hit deals 3 danger. I think we're probably going to want to spend a fate on 2 of these. And try to dodge 2. Okay, we dodge 1. So we take 6 danger. I think. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's the highest. Alright, well, we need to draw an O-ball. Flipping up. And we get You Live! I will lend you for a time a child of mine. Oh, fun. I like that little rhyme. Alright, so let's shuffle you again. Okay, we live. Huzzah! So we're not out of this with that person yet. After attack, knockback 10. Then Demigod turns directly away from the target. Is unwanted indeed. Goodness. Okay, so we could reflex here. Spending a fate to avoid the knockback. You know, we've already got so much dread and stuff. I don't really care. Methinks. Oh, I probably should have moved you. Yeah, there you go. Let's spend the fate to reflex, just in case. Oh. Okay, fun stuff. This brings us to our turn. We do also have a BP3, so statistically, it'd probably be nice just to get that off the board, because we only need 1 wound, rather than specifically trying to wound it, but I kind of want to try to wound it. So, what makes the most sense to do so? I want to go into the club. Going into the club makes the most sense, methinks, to try to make it happen. Attacking with you is challenging, and okay, let's go in with commit, push back. Okay, and tokens too. Did we leave tokens? So we get opening 1, because we did hit. And then we can leave 2 tokens. So I think we want to leave a break and an opening. Alrighty, Roo. So we're going to spend a fate to attack with the sling here. So 2 dice plus 3 to hit. 6. Okay, so we need to spend another fate. Bring up to 8. Oh. Oh. Well, we get the 1 hit, which isn't going to be enough. But at least we'll see what it is. Oh, oh God, manhood. Ooh. Oh, no, it's a heart. Okay. I thought that was something else. All right, so 4. I mean, for a BP3, that is not too bad. Escalate. Gain the Duos Sickle card, only in full game. That is cool that you can get special gear from the Learn to Play. I like that a lot. All right, well, I don't think it's possible for... Yeah, it's literally impossible for us to get 4. That's okay, though. Oh, and I think there should also be another token there, too. All right. So we fail. We cannot do it. So 2 danger and suffer stranding. This was on 2. Oh, you know what? I guess, yeah. I probably should have been doing that in the other characters too, but that is fine. Stranding. So then it's going to move 1, 2, 3. All right. As far as what we leave, 5. Oh, you know what? There's a chance that we could have actually hit it. We do have 2 dice. So let's try, because I forgot to add my rage. Oh, okay. Never mind. We do get manhood. Huzzah! Not a crit, but we get manhood. All right, cool. So that would have been the victory there. So we've spawned rewards and penalties, reset your scallions, -2, gain +1, array. That's cool. Resources down, Carcass Delve participates in the Carcass Delve in reverse death order. I think probably going to skip on that. But yeah, fun stuff. Again, very fun jumping into this game and playing again, because this is obviously different than straight ATO, but it's very similar in a lot of ways too. And I'm looking forward so much to getting into Cycle 2, and it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle relearning most of the games. I was rusty in this, and this is like the prologue battle. But looking forward to it, and this does feel a little bit more streamlined than Cycle 1 in the base game, ATO at least. And yeah, looking forward to this for sure. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Bye!